Hey, what's going on, everybody? Matthew Aaron here, and tonight we're going to focus on doing Facebook campaigns, and we're going to do page post engagement ads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably set up one or two ads from scratch and show you guys step by step how I do that. And then what I'll do after that is I'll show you where I look and I track and I analyze to make a decision whether or not I continue to run ads or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you. And well, first of all, for those of you who just make sure that you're communicating. John, if any of you guys, Andrea, Fran, or John, if you see anyone asking questions in the group, just kind of let me know, and then I'll go and I'll answer questions as we go. For the most part, though, I'm not going to. We probably won't need a ton of questions tonight. I'm just going to show you what I do, right? And this will, of course, will be recorded, so you'll be able to refer back to it and watch it again. I will continue to teach you guys new stuff that I learned. So that's one of the benefits of being a part of my coaching program. So right now, I'm getting pretty good results with some of the ads that I'm running with page post engagement. I'll show you those ads, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, cool. All right, can you guys see my screen right now? I'm just in the group, so I want to make sure you guys can see it before I get going. John or somebody, or let me come back and see if you guys are. Can you see it, John? My screen, thumbs up? That's a thumbs up? Okay, cool. All right, awesome. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over to my fan page, one of my fan pages. And I'll first create an ad. I'm going to create a post first. And what I'll do is, and I want to let you guys know, if my computer has been running really slow tonight, if for some reason, because what I'm going to be showing you guys how to use Power Editor. So whenever you follow this training, make sure that you're in Google Chrome when you do it. Okay, make sure you're using Chrome and not like Internet Explorer or anything like that, because we're going to be using Power Editor. But if we get going here, and like right now, it's taking forever to load, and whenever I use Power Editor, it takes even longer. But if for some reason, this will make you aware, if I can't get stuff to load properly while we're doing the Hangout, what I'll have to do is I'll have to do a recording of this. I mean, I want to do it live with you guys, but if for some reason I can't, I'll have to just record it and send it right out to you guys. Hopefully, for some reason my computer runs really slow in the evening. I don't know what the deal is. Hopefully everything will go well. All right, so I'm not gonna actually write an ad or write a post of this, so you're just gonna grab one and copy and paste it. But then I'll probably make a few edits to it. Alright, so I'm just going to grab this particular content on this ad, or this post. So it's taking forever to load. And I'm very impatient. So stuff drives me nuts. So I'm just going to copy this. It'll let me. So the first thing you do is you make a post, and you could use. I mean, if you already have some posts that have engagement, that you have a specific call to action, and you could use it a post that you already have. But this is I'm just going to do this from scratch right now. All right, so over the years, I've been fortunate to be introduced to people such as Dagan Smith, Ray Higdon, and Mike Dillard. All right, so I'm going to change. So the three keywords that I'm targeting, the interests that I'll be targeting, will be the names of these people, right? So instead, I will put Eric Worre, Ray Higdon, and Mike Dillard, right? So these are going to be the three people that I'm going to target in my ad, right? So let's see here. And whenever you guys write ads, a lot of times people want to write like they're an English class, but the problem is, like, a lot of people, whenever they like pick up a book, they struggle to read that kind of writing. But whenever you write like in choppy, almost like text message type sentences, people will read a lot more of what you write. So that's just a little tip for you. Let's see here. So, like, we don't need complete paragraphs or nothing like that whenever you write your posts. It's like a lot of these are just like one sentence, as I space it out here. And I do a lot of the, a lot of the dot, 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 just continuing the sentence. So whenever you guys are doing any kind of paid traffic, make sure that you have a purpose to your post, whether there's a link for them to click on or specific things that they need to do in order to get the information. So you have to have a call to action, okay? So for example, on this one, I'm going to have it say, comment, I want the training below, share this post. If you want freedom and at least a couple of your friends that want it as well, send me a private message saying I want a free private coaching session, and your freedom awaits. All right, so that's going to be the content of the post, and now I'm going to upload an image. Hope I can find one. Guess I'll use this one. All right, cool. So I'm just going to publish this post. I hope. All right, cool. All right, so now we have the post ready. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start driving traffic to it, targeted, specific traffic of people that we want to have see this post. So what I'm going to do is over here on the right-hand side, top right-hand corner, where the little upside down arrow is, I'm going to click on that. And with any luck, it'll open. Let me try. Okay, cool. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to manage our ads. So you have different options here. You want to choose Manage Ads. And I believe if you guys haven't used Power Editor yet, you'll want to go to Google, and I think you have to like download it, or you have to do something to get it onto your computer, just so you're aware, and then you'll connect it to your Facebook account. Okay. It's almost ready. All right, so once you download Power Editor, you'll see here across the top. So all I did is I went into Manage Ads. It shows like, the current ads I'm running, my budget that I've been spending the past few days, and so on and so forth, right? So what we want to do is we want to click on Power Editor. Now within Power Editor is where you're actually going to create the campaign. And just so you know, whenever you guys are doing it on your own, assuming that your machine's running well, for some reason on my end, this time of the evening and when I'm on a Hangout doing a training, my computer runs really slow. So hopefully it'll run faster for you. Okay, so what we're going to do here is you can see like different ads that I'm running and so on that I've ran previously. But what we're going to do is on the left-hand side here, we're simply going to create an ad. So now we're going to create a new ad. I'm going to call this one, what I like to do is I like to call it with the target audience that I'm going to be targeting. So I'm going to call it Eric. Whenever you name it, just name it something that is relevant to the ad that you're running. So the reason why I'm calling it Eric Warrior, Ray Higdon, and Mike Dillard is because that's the specific interest that I'll be targeting. So whenever I'm checking out my ads, if I see that this ad is just sucking, I'll be able to know which one it is, and I'll be able to deactivate it, or if it's doing good, I can increase the budget, and so on and so forth. All right, so I'm going to copy that. And then here you'll see you have the buying type auction. So I'm going to basically whenever you leave it on auction, it's going to let Facebook do their thing And believe me, Facebook, as long as you have a good target audience, you have a good post, you're better off just to let Facebook do what they're doing rather than switch this. So I would keep it on auction. And then the objective, you have different things you could choose here, but we're going to do page post engagement, PPE. Okay. Then I just paste in the actual ad. And we're going to create that. All right, so over here on the left-hand side, you'll see there's like steps. Basically what we just did just now is like this step here. The next one is here, and then the third one. So I'm going to switch over to the next one. This is where we're going to create our budget. We're going to put in our target audience and all that good stuff. So whenever you're doing your budget, you could do as little as $2 a day, to kind of test it out. What I've been doing lately is $5 to start. So I'm going to set mine at $5 per day. Then as far as schedule, it's going to start today, and I'm going to let it run ongoing. That doesn't mean that it has to run forever. But whenever I create my ads, I say, okay, I'm going to start it right now. I'm just going to let it run. But I check and I watch and I analyze to see whether or not, I might let this ad run for 3 or 4 days. And if it's not performing the way I want it to, I'll simply deactivate it and not pay for the traffic anymore. So here's where we're going to edit our audience. And then we're also going to choose where we want this particular ad to show up. Do we want it to show up on people's mobile devices? Do we want it to show up just on their desktops, right column? I'm not going to put it on the right column. And this one I'm just going to do mobile. Most of the time I do desktop, but I've been getting a pretty good response from mobile newsfeed. So I'm only going to leave this one checked, okay? And then you also want to make sure it's set to all mobile devices. And then for the bid amount, make sure it's set to automatic, okay? So now I'm going to show you how to start targeting. So again, just going to scroll up here a little bit, and we're going to edit our audience. All right, so whenever I first start running any kind of campaign, I kind of like to cast a pretty wide net. So, but then what I'll do is I'll be able to analyze and determine who the specific audience is that's responding to it. So I can actually take one ad and start dividing it up into smaller, more targeted, and just better ads, right? So for this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to target the United States. I also will target the UK. And so I'm going to target, those are the 2 geographical locations I'm going to be targeting, the US and the UK. I'll keep it wide open as far as the age, because again, I'll be able to see all the different demographics. Once this ad gets running and people start responding to it, I'll be able to identify, if it's women who are responding that are from 24 to 40, right? So after I get it going, I'll be able to um, create separate ads that get a much better response than this first one. So for the time being, I just want to cast a really wide net. So I'm going to do 18 to 65. I'm going to target men and women. Also, for those of you guys, if you want to start targeting, different countries that may not speak your native language, so if you speak Spanish, right, or if you speak English, but you want to target people in Germany, but you only want to have the people who speak English see your ad, you just simply type in English here. So I could have put Germany in here, but they need to know how to speak English, right? Because Facebook obviously knows the languages that they speak. So now here's where I'm going to do the detailed targeting. So who do I want to have see this ad? So I'm going to have people who like Ray Higdon see it. I'm going to have people who like Mike Dillard see it. And I'm also going to have people who, let's see here. Like Eric Worre, right? So those are going to be the three targeted, that's who we're targeting with this particular ad. So now what you can do, you actually, within Power Editor, you can begin to, you can even target even deeper. So we could narrow our audience. So say, I mean, for this particular one, I'm not going to do it, but I've been doing a lot of ads selling stuff from the new Deadpool movie, right? I don't know if you're familiar with that movie, but I've been selling T-shirts and rings and different stuff, right? So I put in, what I've been doing is putting in for the interest, I've been putting in every keyword for Deadpool as I can, but then say I'm selling a shirt in that particular ad, what I'll do is I'll narrow the audience and I'll put in keywords like T-shirts and shirts and so on and so forth. You also can narrow it down to like online buyers. There's a lot that you can do with your targeting here. So for example, in the Deadpool example that I was just talking about, I put in all the interests for Deadpool, and then I also put in T-shirts and shirts and stuff like that. So what has to happen is, for a person to see that particular ad, they would have to be a fan of Deadpool, but also like T-shirts, right? At some point online, they made some kind of they either made a purchase of a T-shirt or whatever. So now I'm targeting people specifically who like that. So another example is, again, for the Deadpool example, if I'm targeting for Deadpool and I'm selling a ring, I also can narrow the audience down to people who like rings or like jewelry and so on and so forth. Okay, so you could do a lot more. You could be very specific with your targeting. Okay, so let's just see. What I like to do is I like to check and see what the potential reach is of this. So with this particular post right now, my potential reach is 470,000. That's perfectly fine. Again, for this particular ad, what I want to do is I want to cast a wide net. I mean, there's sometimes where honestly, my potential reach is in the millions for some posts, especially with like the Deadpool stuff I've been doing. So now I'm just simply going to save this. So if I kind of look over and make sure everything is the way I want it to be, again, I'm targeting the United Kingdom and the United States. Men and women from 18 to 65 who speak English. Ray Higdon, Eric Worre, and Mike Dillard are my keyword interests that I'm targeting. Okay. So now I'm going to go into the actual ad. All right, so destination. Okay, so basically right now they're saying, okay, what particular post are we driving this traffic to? Okay, so first of all, you need to choose your page. So I'm going to choose my Matt Aaron page. Next, we're going to choose the post. Let me move down here. So now we're going to select the actual post that we're going to be driving the traffic to. And I'm going to do the one I just set up 14 minutes ago. All right, so one thing I'm not going to be able to show you in this ad is the tracking, and I should have done that. I apologize. So let's just say that I had this, so I don't have to create a whole new ad. Let's say that in the post that I just did, that I had a particular link for them to click on, right? So what I would do is I would create a new pixel. Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to create. I take this pixel and I can put it onto. Say I created a little funnel with an opt-in form and then a thank you page. So what I would do is I would create this pixel and I would put it into, like for me, I use ClickFunnels. So I would put it into my ClickFunnels, the particular funnel that I created. And that way Facebook can identify when people actually click on the link, whenever they opt in, and whenever they land onto the landing page. And I always do, for this particular ad that we're running, I start off with key page views. And again, I just put in Eric Warrior, Ray Higdon, Mike Dillard, PPE, create pixel. But this, where you put this code is going to depend on the system that you're using. Okay, so I'm going to say I can add this pixel to my website. So I would simply take this and I would copy it, or you should take it and copy it. And depending on what the objective is, so you have a link that they're clicking onto. Like for whenever I'm selling the stuff for, the Deadpool stuff, I have that set up on an online store. So it's what you need to do is whatever system you're using, wherever you're driving the traffic to, you need to know where do I put my tracking pixel from Facebook, right? So, again, if you're using, like I use Shopify right now for my online stores, and I, of course, use ClickFunnels. So there's two specific places where I would copy this information and put it into onto the site for the tracking, okay? And if you're using like Lead Pages or some other system, again, every system has a specific spot. You would just simply have to ask and identify where that spot is, where this code goes, okay? So at that point, once you would do that, you have everything set up for tracking, everything. It's all set up and ready to go. All I'm going to do now is simply upload the changes. And just so you know, right here, this red box, it will turn to green once I start driving traffic to it and people start clicking on a link if I had a link in it. But again, for this specific one, I do not. So I'm simply going to upload the changes. And yours won't have an error in it. The reason why mine has an error is because I was playing around with another campaign and I didn't finish it. And continue. So this will upload. I mean, trust me, on your end, if you did this, it would already be done. Again, my computer's just running slow. There, it's completed. So now we will start. It will start driving traffic to this post. So we're done there, and that's literally how simple it is. So you can create, again, one ad that's targeting, 3 specific people. we'll be able to decipher and identify of those. Like, so for me, I'll be able to look and see where am I getting the best response from. Uh, Ray Higdon fans, Eric Worre fans, or Mike Dillard. So like if the Eric Worre fans are giving me a way better response, I could potentially just stop this particular ad that I just created and then do another ad targeting specifically Eric Worre. You know, it might be women from a specific age group, and it might just be the UK rather than the United States. So that's how I kind of do my targeting. So now I'm just going to show you real quick here. Let me refresh this. Now, whenever you're analyzing your numbers, right, from your advertising, you also want to know, you know, what kind of results you're getting on the back end. So, like, if people are buying, the numbers aren't always extremely important. I mean, it's always nice to have, like, you know, your page post engagement, you know, at like a penny or 2 cents a piece. That's great, but as I'll show you in a second, as after this loads, you know, I have 2 ads that I'm running that I've been running for a while that are like at 19 cents and 22 cents per post engagement. But I'll continue to run them because I'm making the conversion to sale is so high for me that I'd be foolish not to pay 19 or 22 cents per post engagement. If it will load here, I'll show you. All right, I can't wait any longer. I need to go somewhere else and see if sometimes if I hopefully if I click around it, it'll open up. Okay. So what I'll do first, hopefully I'll be able to open up my ads manager and show you the numbers. But and I showed you guys last week too, but I'm just going to show you a couple of the posts that I have running for the Deadpool stuff that I'm selling. So I created this little page. All right, so here's a new ad. I just started this one 11 hours ago. So it's pretty simple. Again, I know there's a few of you guys who do drop shipping. So here's simple stuff that I've been doing, and it's been working pretty well so far. So in this particular one, I just started 11 hours ago. It's doing okay. I've gotten, I mean, just to be upfront, I've gotten, I think, 3 sales so far from this ad. But the thing is I've spent, I could actually look and see, but I probably spent maybe about $3, I'm guessing, on this ad roughly. I have it set at $5, and obviously that hasn't been a full day yet, so I'm guessing I probably spent about $3, and from that, it's like $60 back from this. So $3 to 60 is not too bad on that particular ad. I set up this one yesterday. So far, I've got 244 likes, some shares. And then this particular ad I had running, again, I analyzed the numbers on the back end, so I let it run for like 4 or 5 days, 3, 4, 5 days, and it just, I wasn't getting the results I wanted, so I stopped this ad. I stopped driving traffic to it. This one, I ran it, and basically it sucked. So I let this one run for a couple of days, and it was getting no response. So rather than keep on paying money for it, I just stopped the ad and created a new one. And then here's the ring that I was selling. Again, I got a decent amount of engagement on it. I just wasn't getting as many sales as I wanted, so I ultimately stopped the ad for the ring. And then this one I've been getting a really good response on. I showed you this one last week. So I started this one, it would be 8 days ago. And I'm still just doing $5 per day to it. I'm getting sales from it. And I've got over 1,700 likes, 80 shares, and some comments as well, right? So all that looks good. So let me just go see if I can get back into my ads manager. So I really want to show you guys like the numbers. Let's see. If it doesn't load, I mean, basically in your ads manager, you can look at the particular campaigns that you created, right? So I can look at the one the one that I just created. Oh, here we go. All right, so here's the one we just did. It's pending review. Now, depending on how new your account is, it could be pending review for 24 hours, 48 hours in the beginning. But then after that, it should go active pretty quickly. Typically on my end, mine go active typically within minutes. So I'm actually surprised that it's still saying pending review. But once you get your ads, you start using Facebook advertising more and more, and as long as you're not doing things that you shouldn't be doing, you'll be fine. Like, you don't want to put a link into a business opportunity in your ads, especially if it's a bigger opportunity where people will start red flagging it. That'll just get your account shut down. So you just be careful with that. So as you can see here, like here's two ads. I have one that's targeting Mike Dillard, who are 25 and older. Another one that's Ray Higdon. And if you look at these stats here, like 22 cents per post engagement and 19 cents per post engagement. If you ask anyone who's does a lot of Facebook advertising, they would say that these are two ads that you probably shouldn't run. But the thing is again, I've only spent $158 total on the one for Mike Dillard and $126 so far on the one for Ray Higdon. But that money is turned into thousands and thousands of dollars from me from these ads. So, I mean, I wouldn't care if this number was at 50 cents. As long as I know what's happening on the back end, I mean, paying $158 or what? I mean, what are we at here? 200, 27, 28, a little over $280. Person $300 to turn it into thousands. It just makes sense to keep running it. Now, on the other hand, so like here's like post engagement that you want to see. So on the Deadpool T-shirt that I have all the engagement on, I'm at like 2 cents per engagement. Another one I'm at 3 cents. Another one I'm at 2 cents. And that's all I'm running right now. So everything else I've stopped. So I got, for the Deadpool stuff, I have stopped at 2 and 3 cents. And then I also use a system called Ad Espresso. That's where I can do all my analyzing and see everything as far as what specific demographics are giving me the best response. So I can take my ads and do smaller ads for like $1 per day, targeting specific, very specific demographics. So with that said, and just so you know, if you want to get an ad going, so you watch this training, whether it's tonight, or tomorrow, you watch the replay and you set one up, and say that it gets approved and you're spending some money, but you're not getting the results that you want. Again, it's as simple as coming up to the little upside down arrow, clicking on Manage Your Ads, and it'll bring you right to this page. So let's just say that they get this ad going and have it running, and it's not getting any kind of response that I want it to. It's as simple as clicking right here on this button, and it's going to turn it off. So it's very simple for you to turn your ads off if they're not performing the way you want them to. But just so you know, say that you start an ad tonight or you start an ad tomorrow morning, you let it run for a few days, and for whatever reason you decide, oh, maybe I'm going to turn this ad off for the time being, or you want to adjust the budget or whatever. What I suggest is, and I used to make this mistake, is I would start off an ad at like $2 when I really could have just started off at $5. And after 2 days, it was getting some engagement and it was performing the way I wanted it to. I would stop and I would increase the budget. But what that does is, whenever you change anything within the campaign too soon, you want to let Facebook basically optimize your ad. So again, if you're going to set it at $2 per day, let it run for like 4, 5, 6 days, and let Facebook try to optimize it, because sometimes ads in the beginning won't perform really, really great. Like I can tell you, like this as an example. Like this particular ad here, that's at 2 cents. Like the first couple of days, it was at, I think I was around like 11 cents per post engagement. But as I let it run and Facebook started to optimize and target the specific people, because Facebook wants to help you get results, because obviously if they help you get results, you're going to continue to use them, right? It's pretty logical. So whenever you set up your campaign, set the budget, let it run for 4, 5, 6 days before you turn it off or before you adjust the budget on it. Okay. I'm trying to think of what else. That's pretty much it. I mean, running Facebook campaigns, page post engagement, are pretty simple. So let's see. I don't know if this is not normal to have here, so I'm just seeing this now. So I'm not sure if it's because my computer's running slow or what the deal is, but something went wrong. I'm not sure why. But under any other circumstance, nothing would have went wrong. Let me see what's going on here. But if you just follow those steps that I just went over, there's no reason why you couldn't start making posts on your fan page and driving targeted traffic to those posts. And the potential reach and the potential number of people that you can put your ads in front of, especially if you're in the home-based business niche, because there's so many people that have fan pages with tons and tons of fans. So it's not really just about like Eric Worre, Mike Dillard, Ray Higdon. I mean, you can create a list of tons of people that you could target. All right, so do you guys have any questions about that? Let me come into the group. If you guys have any questions or anything, just let me know. You can ask questions right here in the group. We got 10 minutes if you need it. If not, awesome. Start running some paid traffic. Once you understand how to drive some paid traffic, it's just a lot more fun to have people coming to you, like tracking you down, wanting information through paid traffic, rather than having to hunt people down. So let me see here. I mean, it's pretty. I don't know that any of you guys will have questions. John, Andrea, Fran, the 3 of you that are on live, do any of you guys have questions at all?
I'm good. I like the training. Thank you.
right, so I just made a post in the group. If you have any questions. All right, Jasmine, what's your question? I just made a post in the group here. It says, do you have any questions? So I guess chime in here as with a comment, and I will do my best to answer. If I don't know the answer, I will try to find it for you. Hopefully it will load again. Awesome, Antoinette. So yeah, if you're like Antoinette, if you're still targeting people in health and wellness, again, it's just a matter of you identifying leaders in that particular niche, right? So I don't know who those leaders are because I'm not into health and wellness, but you just identify who those leaders are. They become your targeted interest that you target, and you start running ads targeting their people. Okay. All right, Jasmine. So Jasmine's question is, what is the best amount of money to start out with running Facebook ads? I don't know if there's a specific answer to that. I mean, what I would suggest is you want to make sure that you have a budget to create a couple different variations of your posts and your ads, because you don't want all the traffic going to one specific thing. Okay, so let's say that you're going to run 3 ads and you can afford $15 per day in advertising. So you would just do $5. Your ad budget for each particular ad, each of those campaigns would be $5 on each of them, and you'd have 3 ads running per day. And then you would, at that point, begin to track and analyze what of those 3 ads are getting the best results. And then you would, if one of them is doing poorly, you would stop driving traffic to that one, create a new one, and start building up from there. Now, let's say that you want to run 3 ads, but you don't want to do $15 per day, or you could want to do $30 per day, right? So you could do $10 per ad, but let's just say that you don't want to do $15 per day. I mean, you could start it off at $2 or $3 per campaign that you do. Again, but you don't want to just have one campaign that you're running for $2 per day. I would suggest having at least 2 or 3 ads running at a time to track and analyze the results that you're getting from them. I hope that answers your question. All right, Andrea, is it better to use ads to introduce products versus prospects for the biz op? Really, both can be fine. Again, whenever you're doing an ad, Andrea, you ultimately want to offer something of value up front, right? So you and I discussed, right? So offer them some kind of information that's going to help them with the specific problem, and then on the back end you can introduce your product, right? So again, if you're in skincare and you want to help people with their breakouts and stuff like that, you can create a little PDF or a video or something that shares 7 things to help clear up unwanted breakups, or not breakups, breakouts. Breakups are bad too. We could probably do a lot of targeting for relationships and stuff, but to answer your question, really they both can work, to be honest. We can introduce a product on the back end or prospect for prospecting for a business opportunity. I mean, just in what I showed you today with like the Deadpool stuff, again, I'm just introducing a product, a shirt, right? On the back end, I'm driving traffic right to an offer for a product. Whereas the ad that I just created today is really going to be me prospecting to identify other people who are interested in making money online, and I will go from there. Awesome, Juanita. Great to see you. I'm glad you came on. If you have any questions in the future, just feel free to contact me or ask here in the group. Does anybody have any other questions? I hope you guys got a lot of value from this. If you're not doing paid traffic yet, and I by no means I don't even consider myself a guru at this stuff at all yet. But I work at it every day to get better and better, and so should you. So diving into this stuff and starting testing and all that is huge for your future as an internet marketer. Again, because the more knowledge you have, the more value you can provide. The more value that you can provide, the more money you will make. I promise you. So
I guess that's it. Good night, everybody.